In the river town of Willow Creek, where brick houses leaned toward one another like old friends, and the morning bells rang soft and slow, there lived a young woman named Clara May. Most people knew her simply as the Maid. Clara swept floors before sunrise, polished silver until it mirrored her tired smile, and washed windows that looked out onto lives she did not yet live. She worked in the grand house on Hawthorne Hill, a place so large it seemed to breathe on its own. Yet for all its size, kindness did not always fill its rooms. Still, Clara never complained. Her mother had taught her one thing before she passed: your hands may serve, but your heart must never bow. And so Clara worked with quiet pride, humming old tunes and leaving warmth behind her like footprints no one noticed. Every morning, before her duties began, Clara paused by the back garden. There stood an old apple tree, bent with age but stubbornly alive. Clara spoke to it as if it were a friend. One day, she whispered, "I'll grow too." One winter evening, as snow dusted the town like sugar on bread, Clara found a stranger collapsed near the servants' gate. He was poorly dressed, his hands cracked from travel, his eyes full of worry. Without hesitation, Clara brought him bread, wrapped his hands, and sat with him until his shivering stopped. "Why help me?" the stranger asked. Clara smiled. "Because I can." The man thanked her and left before dawn, leaving behind nothing but a strange sense of promise in the cold air. Seasons turned. Willow Creek changed little, but Clara did. She began saving pennies. She asked questions. She learned numbers from the cook, letters from the gardener, and business sense from the old ledgers no one bothered to lock away. At night, she wrote ideas by candlelight, dreams of a small shop, a place of her own. Then, one spring morning, the town buzzed with news. A new investor had arrived, someone planning to revive the abandoned mill by the river. Jobs would return, shops would open, hope stirred like the first green leaves of the year. When Clara finally met the investor, her breath caught. It was the stranger. He recognized her instantly. "You gave me warmth when I had none," he said gently. "Now let me return the favor." But Clara shook her head. "Give me a chance, not charity." Impressed, the man offered her partnership instead of pity. Clara invested her savings, her ideas, and her tireless work. She oversaw workers, managed accounts, and made decisions with fairness that surprised the entire town. The mill reopened. Willow Creek flourished. Years later, Clara no longer walked through the servants' gate. She owned a fine house near the river, not grand but welcoming, its doors always open. People now called her Madame Clara, not out of fear, but respect. Yet every morning, she still rose early. She visited the old apple tree on Hawthorne Hill, now blooming brighter than ever. "I grew," she whispered, resting her hand on its bark. And in Willow Creek, people learned a lasting truth, that dignity can live in the humblest work, that kindness plants seeds we may never see grow, and that a maid, with courage and heart, can rise, not by stepping on others, but by lifting them along the way. And so, Clara May's story was told for generations, not as a tale of riches, but as a reminder that true greatness begins exactly where you are.